Welcome to the Tribute Lounge. I'm Mark Fawcett, and today's item, the VANS INFUSE Arthur Longo model. So this new VANS boot for 2021-2022, there's a lot of hype around it. This VANS model is the INFUSE, and it's the Arthur Longo signature boot. The maniac in my books goes huge off the smallest stuff, finds sniper little landings or just forgets about it and lands flat anyway. And I'm actually finally getting my hands on a set of these here at the shop. I was a little surprised. It's really burly. I mean, I would say as an all-mountain freeride boot, it borders on a big mountain freeride from the standpoint of features, sole stiffness. This toe box is bomber solid and stiff for towing into those steep and icy boot packs. We're gonna tear this boot apart. It's got a ton of features, and for $480, it's pretty incredible. We're gonna have a tough time selling other boots at this price range that are gonna compete against this boot. So once we pull this VANS INFUSE Arthur Longo boot apart, we're gonna see the V3 UltraCush from North Face FlashDry liner. So the FlashDry system, obviously, as it states, dries super quick. So if you're ever in those backcountry situations and you pop stuff off in your sun pit, you can actually dry your liners out pretty fast. It is a heat moldable liner through the brunt of it. In the front, there is a neoprene toe box. So you can see it's really flexible off the toe there, so you don't get those like black toenails if you land hard and end up punching your toes through the toe box. And the rest of it is the EVA heat moldable foam. The X cage they have back here is new and improved, and it's got a ton of heel hold down. If you look inside this liner, you can barely see in there to see the heel pocket. It's so well enclosed at the top, and when I tried them on, it grabbed me like a clamp. Underneath this is the POPCUSH footbed. Really squishy. It's 3 different laminates of foam and silicate rubber basically on the very bottom. So a ton of supportive yet absorbing cush there to try and avoid getting those heel bruises. Moving on to the shell, this thing's full of really cool bells and whistles. First of all, the ULTIMATEWAFFLE version 3 VANS sole, really sticky, hard compound. That tread pattern's fantastic for slippery boot packs, definitely for sledding too. As I mentioned before, the toe box in this shell is bomber. So for towing in and those critical times where you really gotta punch in and lean on it, it's durable and it's not gonna affect your toes on the inside. The sole itself is pretty shanky. Again, I would call this leaning more towards big mountain freeride stiffness on the very bottom of this boot, but for aggressive riders, they really like that. And again, it is better for any sort of alpine touring you're doing when your snowboard's off your feet. They call it a zipper shroud, but it's essentially a half gaiter on the bottom, and this is where you get the bulk of your snow and moisture that climbs into your boot and makes your feet super soaking. So very lightweight, easy to open up, and then you expose your laces in there and zip it up. Then you think, oh no, I don't have laces there for my pant gaiters. They thought of that. And there's a neat little D-ring here so you can just latch your pant gaiters on. One of the really cool features about this boot is I think Arthur wanted the dependability and ease of standard lacing, but he wanted that performance and that ability to like really tighten it up when you're riding and really let it off when you're on the lift of a Boa system. So he developed the hybrid system here. There's a custom slide on the front that channels these 3 cables that are attached to the Boa. One of these 3 cables goes all the way around to the back of the boot too, so it really pulls you in here and just in that critical area where you want it super tight. The Boa lever itself is coated in like a really nice sticky rubber, so you don't have to really grab on there. You can pretty much just zip your finger along the top, even with your glove on, and you're gonna get a ton of purchase, almost all the way tight without even having to grab it. For those of you that think this boot might be a little too much or a little too stiff for you, guess what? Vans has thought of that, and they have the Vans Flex Control System. So what it entails is 2 tongue stiffeners on either side of the tongue, and you can initially with the boot during the break-in period just run it without them. As the boot breaks in, you can place one in if you want. If you really want to go super stiff, you can place both of them in. And they rate this as a boot that goes from a 5 on the soft end to a 9 on the stiff end. And on the top end, and a lot of boots don't have these anymore, a power strap. And some people ride it really loose. Some people like that as the tightest part of their boot. And this has been the Vans Infuse Arthur Longo signature model. See you next time.